not good variety. Good chance we probably won't see another helicopter till, I would guess, somewhere around midstream. We had a helicopter. No, actually, I take that back. We probably have a couple in-game days before the next helicopter, because it wasn't right at the end we had our helicopter. Okay, for some reason I thought I read it that didn't say fresh. Yeah, as you can see, I got tomatoes, an okay amount. Yeah, okay amount of tomatoes. I got a good amount of radishes and potatoes, and then these strawberries won't be fresh much longer, at which point then I'll need to eat them. And I run when I go through the doors, just in case some cheeky zombie decides that sitting right next to the door is where it wants to be. We can just be ready to shove it out of the way. So I do hope everyone has been having a good Tuesday. I had to think about the day of the week. A lot of people are aware I did go on sabbatical as of Friday. So I'm enjoying just doing what I want for a little while before I get back into it. Figure after 20 straight years of doing full-time work, I've earned a break. But where time has had no meaning, time has even less meaning than it did before it had no meaning. Which is kind of nice, but kind of crap, because I definitely know I had to ship some stuff out, and then realized it was Sunday and the places I shipped stuff out on was not open, which was very inconvenient the other day. But, you know, time has no meaning. Yeah, or last night where the RimWorld run, I wanted to get it to the point that we were ready to hit the fire button on the next reset in Arco Nexus. And it was very, like, even though we were only, like, less than 10,000 short of what we needed, and it was just like, so I was trying to get that one quest to just dip me over. It's like, it's going to be at least another half hour, so it's like, and it was already, like, 6 a.m. my time. It's like, alright, I have to call it. Like, I'm getting to that not enough sleep, brain fuzz. I'm gonna start making dumb mistakes. It's time. Hey, Yo-Yo, how's it going? But yeah, so Sunday when we start a RimWorld stream, it's probably one of those ones that like only 20-30 minutes into the stream we're gonna be doing our Arco Nexus reset. And I just am accepting the next colony and making a new Poity, because this Poity died immediately on the last reset and has been in the fridge ever since, and never once did we get what we needed to bring them back, so... As juiced up as that pawn was, it's like, yeah, I accept. We'll never get a resurrection serum for them, and if we do, it'll be my luck that they'll get the things that I'll have to have 2 of them. So... we'll just make a new Poity when we start a new colony. Yo-Yo asks, I have a question. Did you ever get killed by the knife stab animation? The execution animation? No. The execution animation typically will not trigger if you have more than one zombie aggroed. Your character instead will push the zombie. There are a few exceptions, like if I have a blind spot where like I'm at the corner of a building and my back is up to the corner building and I'm aggroed from the side of the building I'm not aware of, then I believe you can execution animation and then the zombie comes up behind you. But I look at that as, well, that zombie is going to come up behind you and get you anyways, so the animation wasn't the problem. Like, you were in a dangerous position and you got. Now, the one I haven't gotten killed, but I've gotten pretty thrashed from before, is the stab animation when they're knocked down, because it's a little bit slower than you'd expect. And I have gone for that stab animation, then gotten lacerated and scratched by zombies that get me while I'm trying to get away from the end of that animation. But that's not the execute. That is counter to the spear, which the spear execution animation can happen when there's multiple zombies aggroed. And while I've never been caught by it, there have been many times where I'll do the execution animation and I am holding shift and the other direction going, please, please game, just let me go. And I haven't gotten caught by it yet, but there's been a lot of times that it was very uncomfortably close. Like that you're just thinking, I'm frames away from getting wrecked here. But yeah, no, the execution animation with the knife is fairly safe. And if you're super worried about it, as long as you're backing up when you're stabbing, you will never execution animation. You have to stop moving for it to trigger. You'll notice when you stop moving, your character will lift their other hand, and that lets you know that you're eligible is the word I'm going to use, but eligible for the execution animation. Not that you'll do it, but that, you know, your character is in position and ready. But you'll start moving and they'll put the hand back down. But yeah, where I have one aggroed in front, one behind, I won't execution animation here and instead push. That's lovely. Burning Sun cashing in another 10 push-ups. I'll do those as soon as we're done with these. And I'll read your message in just a moment, Yo-Yo. Just focus in mode for a moment. Cool. Yeah, I haven't seen. The new patch hasn't dropped yet, right? Like, I know the new patch was coming, but I didn't catch if it actually had dropped. Because I have been warning people, and I will continue warning people, the strategy of drinking directly from water sources is going bye-bye. It will no longer be safe, so if you've been using that strategy, you will need to adapt. Drinking directly from lakes and rivers is going to start getting you sick now. Hey, the Greater Danish, it is going well. How about yourself? Sorry if I sound a little winded, I had a delivery. That was supposed to be simple, but ended up becoming a whole thing. So I was scrambling, pulling stuff in and out of the fridge, trying to make room for stuff and all that, so... rushing going fast. Plus, people are hitting the push-ups hard this stream. Oh right, still have the busted nightstick and knife. Excellent. Homemade applesauce is pretty amazing. Hadn't had that in a very long time. Prior to moving here in Florida, I used to live up in Detroit area, Michigan, so I got spoiled having like access to, you know, super duper fresh apples. Like, unpasteurized applesauce is amazing, but does not ship. Because it does not hold up well. But it's delish. If you ever end up in the Ohio, Michigan area, I would strongly recommend if you're in the right season for it. Oh, Okay, Integer, just so you know, the other day we upped it from 5 push-ups of redemption to 10 push-ups of redemption, so you know. It's gone up to double what it was before. Which is also why the cost went up. It's more to get more push-ups per stream than anything. Yeah, but it's not meant to be easy. Now granted, if someone finds like an easy way to get in shape, like you just, you know, you joke about like all the machines in the 50 where it had like the belt that would just jiggle you back and forth and that kind of stuff, you know, the stuff that did absolutely nothing meaningful but people bought into for a long time. Like if someone finds one of those tricks that like actually is the thing, I'm down. Count me in. That's probably dangerous for me to climb out of my door with the zombie right there. Because if the zombie grabs you like right as you climb out the door, they can just drag you down instantly. That's a very not fun way of dying. Don't run away. Good, got some attention, we'll draw him out. But yeah, as you can see everywhere we go, there's just blood stains all over the road. That's not dirt, that's where we've killed zombies. Go ahead and kill the zombie before we get in our car and move up. And we're slowing down the speed because we're hitting all the corpses again. The corpses don't directly damage your car driving over them. However, if you drive over them and then ramp your car into a tree, that does damage your car and potentially kill you. So we're just driving over them as a safety precaution to not get in an accident, not because of wear and tear or something like that. For the most part, yes, Bert. We have used some guns, but I would guess of the 21,000, maybe 2,000 at most were guns. So, it's mostly just melee. Like, I only break out the guns when I'm sitting on so much ammo, it's like, alright, I really want to get this ammo out of my life. Walk past them and deal with them on this side so they're not between them. So the best to fight zombies on only one side of you as much as possible. I just realized my character sheet isn't up. Alright. Oh, and I was going to go over my skills. So, where we left off with our last stream, I'm at about like 5 4/5 fitness, 6 4/5 strength, about 4 1/3 nimble. Most of my combat skills are now at 6 or very close to 6 with a couple exceptions. My crafting skills, it depends on the skills I use a lot are all up, so farming, cooking, and carpentry are all really high. Tailoring is in pretty good shape. We started working on stuff like mechanic because stuff to do when the weather sucks and it's dangerous to go out and mess with zombies. We'll, take a home day to work on our skills, get stuff organized, that kind of nonsense. Whatever we can to not have to drive or fight zombies in the like tropical storms or fog. Because this is an endurance run. It's not about making quick wins, it's just staying alive and continuing to kill zombies for as long as possible. Our survival skills are all pretty much garbage. We didn't really invest much effort into leveling them before the winter showed up, but now that we're in the winter, not really a whole lot of opportunity to level them up in a meaningful way. I mean, foraging I can, but the goal is to kill the zombies. All the other stuff is in support of killing the zombies. The Greater Danish says, my current PZ character is a magnet for house alarms. She set off 3 house alarms in East Rosewood in one in-game day yesterday. Yeah, I find I either have like really good or really bad luck with alarms. The one that happens to me the most is there'll be like a specific building I'm going after. Not that it's like an important building, like it could be the first house on the edge of town, stuff like that. Like an unimportant building, but just the building that we strategically want. And I end up having to go to absolute war for it. So the first thing I'm going to do is we have a place we've been sleeping over here. I want to double check, make sure that's secure, because we've been away for a couple of days. Between, I believe, we dealt with a helicopter, there's the fog, we had to restock food, that kind of thing. But there was a storage unit over here that has some beds in it and all that. So we've considered that kind of like our away location for here. I need to mark it onto my map now I think about it. We did bust into a couple of these storage units with a crowbar, but I didn't take the time to do them all. Yeah, it's this one here at the generator. Okay, since we opened all those, we know the one that's closed on this side is where we live. And before I forget, so we can find it easier, just marking where it is. But we've cleared most of that. You can see the one corner of the trailer park we didn't clear. But I'm going to try and clear out most of this area and not worry about that so much. Plan is we're going to be making so much noise, we'll get most of it out of there anyways. And the ones that we don't, we'll just go in after them. For people looking for defensible locations, these storage units are excellent. Because there's only 2 ways into this place. There's this here. If you look down here, there's a set of doors down there. So just this one corner is the only way in. So you can make it very easily defended. I still think if you're going for like raw defense potential, I would prefer Rosewood Fire Department because it already has like a second floor and everything. There's the fence you can't destroy. Look, you're not gonna wander around in here. That's just not a thing that's gonna fly. But as always, we're securing our, like, where we live / our exit. Like, that is our first priority. Secure that and make sure it's as safe as we can reasonably make it. Like, we're not going to board it up, do all that kind of stuff, because we're not going to stay here long enough to justify that action. But the point being is, we make sure there's no zombies immediately near where we go to sleep. Now we're going to start working our way up to the warehouse and the factory, where we'll be able to acquire ourselves a whole bunch of more weapons. There's more chat I need to catch up with here in just a second. The Greater Danish says, yeah, there was one on each side of a house that I had an annotated map pointing towards. Wanted it so badly, but now I just have to wait for it. Yeah, that's like The gas station it's this run, it was burned down, but the gas station we wanted to move into as like our base of operations. I've had a previous run where we got to the gas station, I had cleared the zombies in the area. It's like, sweet, we can finally, you know, get into the gas station. We got a car, we got a generator, we got a magazine. Like, our run is like on its foot. Let's get going. And we went to go into the gas station and it was alarmed. And so all that progress I had made to clear all the zombies in the area just instantly washed away as the alarm of the zombies from everywhere else around the town. Like, to a certain degree, that alarm got me killed because it got me, you know, frustrated, so I was pushing much harder than I should have, and that's what got us caught. The game just knowingly conspires against us. Make our cell before we start getting into a fight. That way, if we end up, you know, having to like deal with food mid-fight, we can just shove salad in our mouth. It doesn't have to be a whole thing. Yeah, so there should be quite a few hordes around here, unfortunately. That is what it is. But, just kill them. Every zombie dead is one less zombie in the world to deal with. I know someone was saying Mr. Lamprey is going for a 1 million zombie kill run at 16x pop, no respawns, all that kind of stuff. Or I think it was no respawns. I'm pretty sure it was no respawns. But out of curiosity, did they have someone do the numbers to make sure there's actually 1 million zombies in the world? Because our best numbers we've been able to find are about 900,000, but that's admittedly out-of-date information. I'm mostly looking to see if Mr. Lamprey has a source of information that is more up-to-date, because I would love to know that information myself. Because I know my information is out-of-date, but not if it's too big, too small, or whatever. I assume too small, but I have no solid evidence to confirm that. There are keys in the ground. I think it says for the Franklin van, which would be this up here, not those. What do you have in you? What do you have in you? Spear. Okay. I got excited. I will admit. But it's just a spear. Now there's another set of keys down here. Not that it matters, they're wrecks, but you know. It is what it is. Alright, so this is the Franklin van. I mean, that's probably a good van for us. When we're not fighting zombies, you should check in how much horsepower that engine does. I don't intend on lurking around this place too much. I just saw the ones in the window and wanted to deal with them before they broke anything. Axizol says, it's just me or the zombie sounds pretty loud in comparison to Storge's voice. Watching a notebook. If they need to be adjusted, just let me know. I have no problem adjusting them. Just, I would ask that I get like 2 or 3 people confirmed, because individual audio settings can be all over the place. Yeah, no, that's exactly the same reason why I'm like, all right, you know, can people confirm? Like, is that a consensus that either my voice is too quiet or the game sound is too loud or whatever? I also adjust my mic a little bit. Wouldn't mind if the zombies were a tad quieter. That's easy enough to solve, because what I will do here is I'll hit escape, go to options, go to audio, and I will go to sound and I'll take it down, let's see, 1 tick. So I think those are 10% increments. I instinctively wanted to adjust in OBS. I'm like, no, every game has its own sound stuff. I should change it in the game and not OBS. Only if like all games are consistently too loud would I change it in OBS. Yeah, because on my equalizer on OBS, it shows like that I am the loudest thing by a fair margin, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's what it translates to when you hear it. Alright, give me a moment to grab, oh yeah, I can put them in my back right away. And give me a moment to pause, because chat is moving and I'm losing track. Okay, so it's better for, yep, it's better for you now, cool. Mr. Lamprey is running default insane pop settings, respawn is. Okay, so he's running insane pop and his plan is to just keep killing zombies till he hits, you know, 1 million. Okay, cool. I thought he was running the same settings as we have right now. And it's just like, oh. It's like, how would you do that? Like, our best math, like, I was wondering if he had just better numbers available to him. Because, like, I would fully 100% believe there are 1 million zombies on the map. I just haven't had anyone... Oh, that was blue overalls. I don't think I've seen those in a very long time. Not that I'd ever use them, but still. Blue overalls. Yeah, that's cool. I like that a whole bunch of people are doing that. I passed up a club hammer, you say? Did I? I believe it. They can... Oh, it's probably this one with the white helmet. Yeah, the one with the white helmets could sometimes have it. Thank you. I probably won't use that for a while, but I do like to stockpile weapons, because you never know when they're going to become scarce. Every time I hear this song, I just can only think The Sims loading audio. It just feels like a song that's just a loading track for The Sims. Thanks, man. I already have a welding mask now. Could have used that a long time ago. I'm not worried about trying to push in the warehouse. I know it's going to be chock full of weapons and all sorts of useful stuff. But our immediate priority is just kill zombie. Once we stop seeing zombie in the area, then we can start worrying about looting and all that kind of nonsense. We aren't going to stay here in any reasonable capacity. I want to hit the zombie at my feet game. Because our main objective is kill zombie. All other objectives are secondary. So the fact that we pushed him... Oh, never mind. So you saw how that one was behind the tree, and then we were willing to execute him just because our character wouldn't have known that zombie was there. That's the only way I know of that can get you killed. Is that a zombie that you as a person would likely be completely blissfully aware of, that can get you in trouble. But my argument there is, yeah, you see, so instead of executing stabbing, we shoved the zombie. You won't do that if there's more, or you won't do that if there's just one aggroed on you. You'll either stab him again or you'll execute him. So we shoved him. That's because we had no one aggroed. This one I think is the only one we have aggroed, so we'll execute him. So, yep. Not saying there couldn't be a bug with it at any point or anything like that, just I've killed literal thousands of zombies with that execution animation, and I've never once felt like I particularly don't feel safe. Yeah, it could be. Like I've gone on, you know, I'll check to see what people are saying on Reddit. You know, it's as someone who's like streaming, part of the community, that kind of stuff, I kind of do have to keep up with not necessarily what specifically is being said in the community, just trying to see like what people are interested in, all that kind of thing. You know, it's good to be aware of because it can help guide, oh, what content should I be trying to produce for this audience? Like what would they want to see, that kind of thing. And there's times on Reddit where you'll be like, don't use short blades or an utter death trap, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I'm not saying I'm some amazing player that's like in their own league or anything in here, because there's definitely people who are better at the game than I am. But I certainly know I'm in the higher percentage of players, and short blades are not a problem. Short blades are perfectly fine and serviceable. And the only reason I'm at these kill stuff is because of how much I play. Alright, we pushed it, so there's another zombie aggro around us somewhere. There you are. And so we're standing still, so we're going to push. Because we're aggroed. Have I ever died to a glitch or a bug? I have died to design decisions I'm not, I wasn't aware of that I may disagree with. But that's not a glitch or bug, really. I'm trying to think of a time, if there's ever been a time that, it's ever been a glitch or a bug that's killed me. Like, because even crashes, I haven't died to a crash yet. The closest we've come to something just not working the way it should, getting us killed, was right when they did the multiplayer update. We opened a save file that came from before the multiplayer update, and when I loaded in a bathroom we had cleared and that we had slept in, I spawned in with a zombie like directly on top of me. Fortunately, there's a very small chance that when you're attacked by a zombie, your character just pushes them off without getting hurt. And that happened. So we didn't get punished for it, but that was one of those ones that I almost had a run that a lot of people were very invested in die off stream, because I just wanted to make sure the save file opened under the multiplayer version when it first came out before stream. That, you know, that way if I had to roll back and keep it on the lower version until we finished the run, I could. And then we almost died in that moment. Which all I did was, like, right after it happened, I killed the one zombie. That was enough satisfaction that it worked, and I just hopped back off knowing that there's a good chance all the zombies respawned or moved or something. If I did die, so if I had died in that motion, in that situation, it probably wouldn't have been like, you know, it probably would have been a drag down, not just a regular hit. We got lucky and that just wasn't the case. I have never gone into debug to make my character not dead, but I mean, like that is one of those things, like I've never done that and I would hesitate to open that can of worms. Yeah. Hey, Fox Mouse, it's going really good. I am having a lovely day. Got food. Oh, look, we got a whole horde at our vehicle. That's not what you want to see. Go away, zombies. That's my car. It was a pretty nice car when I got it, but you know, I've used it, I've hit a lot of things. It's not as good as it once was. It still gets me point A to B. It stalls quite a bit if I'm being honest, but you know, it's serviceable. Ah yes, more hordes, just what you want. Turn it back around before we grab more zombies that we don't see. Just go back right over the area we're just at, because that should be clear, because we just drug zombies through it. It appears we did go too far and I did aggro another horde. That's fine. This is our life. One moment, I need to put on my glasses. It is one of those days. Let's see. Foxmouth says, stabby stabby. Oh, wait. What's the line from Conan Exiles? Pokey pokey, mate. Bert says, imagine if they added zombies that go slightly faster than your walk speed. That would be horrifically terrifying. I actually would be okay with that. Like, slightly faster than my walk speed, I would be good with. I don't care for sprinters in the game with the way they're implemented, but that's a personal opinion. I know a lot of people love them, and that's cool. Have a good time. They're not for me. Darkstrider says, just got done eating some pizza, and the funny thing is that the person who answered the phone when I placed the order, she remembered me by name and to pick up the pizza. Cool. Valkyrie says, there is a mod that allows you to change the speed of fast shamblers to slightly faster. That sounds like a good mod that we'll probably try at some point. Darkstrider says, and where to pick up the pizza. Yeah, you'll find there's some people who are, like, really, really good in customer service. Like, there is a lot of talent and a lot of skill that goes into dealing with that kind of stuff, honestly. I'm not one who buys into the whole unskilled labor thing from someone who's done everything from menial labor to retail to software dev to management. Like, there's no such thing as unskilled labor. Like, honestly, dealing with people is 1,000 times worse than dealing with, like, half the other crap. Foxman says, "Oh, hey, Rawl, maybe you can help me with something. Buddy Fox and I were talking about weight loss in multiplayer, and heard somewhere that doesn't fully work in multiplayer. Do you have..." So I've heard about that, and we have theories. So it does work. I can verify that. You can, in fact, lose weight in multiplayer. Like, that's fine. What I think the issue boils down to is because you don't sleep, there is that much more time you are eating food because you don't lose as much hunger while you're asleep. And then on top of that, you can't fast forward in multiplayer, so it gives you kind of that confirmation bias of believing that it's not working, when in fact it's just, you know, the time it takes. Like, if you have your day set to 1 hour, realistically, when you're playing a day in Project Zomboid, unless things are getting out of hand, 1 day is somewhere in the area of 30 to 45 minutes, because you sleep part of it, and you might fast forward through part of it, and you can even get to the point where a day is like 10-15 minutes if you're just doing a lot of fast forwarding activities. As such, when you're using a whole bunch of days, or when you're trying to go through a whole bunch of days, you might burn through, in the course of like 5 days in multiplayer, you might burn through 10 days or more in single player. And so people are like, oh no, it's not working. Like, what is it? And I think it's just the combination of the fact that you wind up eating more and the combination of time takes longer compound, and people don't realize just how much time has passed, kind of thing. Yeah, and they're also talking about you could adjust stuff with hunger and all that. That said, is it exactly equal and balanced with what's in single player? I can't answer that. I haven't done the proper testing, nor am I aware of someone who has done the proper testing and is able to show that they've done the proper testing. But my hunch is that it's more perception than anything. That, you know, time seems to take more time for it to happen, plus you eat more. Now, all that said, that does mean, in fact, you do lose weight slower in multiplayer. Whether that's intentional or otherwise. But it just means you eat a lot more salad.